If your wallet's thin and you're always broke, and your credit score's just a cruel joke, don't worry, friend, don't lose your chill. We're here to help with some knowledge and skill.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kristy Armstrong. I'm a CPA in Charlestown, Rhode Island, the fabulous flying CPA. I also fly airplanes for fun, which is an expensive hobby, by the way. Anyway, I'm here today because I am I want to talk about financial literacy. I don't think it's taught in school enough, and I am here on this show called All About Money. So I'd like to start off this first episode with a brief history of money. Because why do we even have money? Why can't everything be free? Well, in the beginning, we didn't have money. Money is pretty recent. Years ago, everybody used the barter system. And if you don't know what that is, if you had something I wanted and I had something you wanted, we were golden. So if I needed shoes and you were a shoemaker and you needed a goat and I had goats, we're good. The problem we run into is if you want something and I want something, but we don't make those. So there's no person or society in the history of the world that is self-sustaining. We always need other things from other people. So what happens is they have to come up with some kind of system. In the beginning, we used commodity money. And what that means is there might be three people involved in the trade. I would trade corn to Ben. He would trade a goat to another farmer, and that farmer would give me the wheat I wanted to make bread. It's not very efficient, as you can imagine. So people are smart. Eventually, we developed currency. The first currencies were made of copper, meteorites, isn't that weird? Iron, obsidian, amber, beads, and shells. Or in cows. People traded cows for a while. I don't have any cows, so I would be going hungry. One of the first currencies came up in Mesopotamia. It's the Mesopotamia shekel. And that was 5,000 years ago, if you can wrap your head around that. The first mint to actually make coins was in Lydia, which is in modern day Turkey, in the 17th century BC. And I have a picture to show you. That was a combination of silver and gold, and it was stamped. The reason they developed it was to pay for armies, so to pay for war, which is very sad. I'm sorry that money has to do with war, always. So, and that's when taxes were developed. They started taxing people to pay for wars. We'll talk about taxes in a whole other episode. Taxes are a necessary evil. So, money became an instrument of political control, meaning taxes. Now, an interesting fun fact is the first woman on American currency was Martha Washington, and she was on the $1 silver note. So when money was originally invented here in the U.S., when we started having money, and all over the world really, it was tied to precious metals, usually gold. So there was gold backing the money. So a dollar was worth how many ounces of gold. Well, not a lot. I mean, gold's expensive now. So, and there's a place in our country called Fort Knox. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but that's where they keep all the gold. But at some point, there wasn't enough gold to cover all the money. So what happened is money is not tied to gold anymore. It's actually tied to a belief system, which isn't that scary. So the only reason money works is because we believe it works and we all buy into that belief. So, I mean, it was kind of becoming electronic and cryptocurrency before cryptocurrency was invented. So what happened is it became not tied to gold, and it's based on trust and agreement, and it's stored electronically in banks. Because if you think about it, if I write a check to Ben for $100 and he tries to deposit it in his bank, my bank is not going to drive to his bank with $100 and put it into his account. It's not happening. If you think about all the money that changes hands during every day, nobody's driving anything anywhere. It's just not an efficient system. So what happens, it's just a ledger. It's on a piece of paper or a spreadsheet or somewhere in a computer in the different banks. So does it exist? Well, yes, it does. Does it work? Yes, it does, because we all agree that it works. It's by agreement. So it's no wonder that now we have cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is we call it cryptocurrency, but it's not even really currency, because it exists out in the ether and it's mined. It's mined by data mining and lots of electricity. So the way you get cryptocurrency is through something called blockchain. Hopefully you're studying what that means in school, but it's all these computers talking to each other, and they look for it like a detective with their computer and mine it, and they find it. I don't even really understand that part, honestly. That is like way over my head. But so out in the ether world, they mine these. They can mine cryptocurrency with lots of electricity. You can actually volunteer to mine, and somebody else uses your computer to mine it. Again, it uses a lot of electricity, or you can get paid in cryptocurrency. The problem with cryptocurrency is if you forget your password, you're screwed. So now you got to go back to the old-fashioned way of writing it down somewhere, because, passwords, that's a whole nother show about security and passwords. But the future of money also is when you take your phone and you go to the store, you can use a Cash App, and you can just use your phone to pay for stuff now. Digital wallets, it's all digital. And so we went from seashells to nothing, to in the ether, in the cloud, in the computer. And that only happened in a really short period of time. So that you think 17th century BC is when they first minted money. And here we are with real currency is going to go away. I mean, they just stopped minting the penny. So it's great not to have to carry money. It's nice to carry money anyway, just in case. Because what if all the computers went down and you still needed to buy something? Money is not totally obsolete. So that's it on the history of money, a brief history of money. And I really look forward to sharing so much more with you in the coming episodes. And I'll just leave you with this. My friend Lillian Poston told me, tell your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. That's it. Bye for now.